Alright guys, free time garage again. Showing off a couple projects, just kind of what we do. I do live in Cincinnati, so don't knock the Reds hat. I know they had a pretty awful year this year. But here's my 69 C10. Bought it this May. Done some work to it, redid all the wiring already. Done some exhaust work. It had 3.5, 4-inch tips out the back of it that just looked awful. Put a hitch on it, had to do some bumper modifications to make that work with the step bumper. Replaced one of the exhaust manifolds on it. Just some general maintenance and tightening up some stuff. Pulling off some Bondo. They did a number on this thing. But just showing you a couple projects that are in the works and that will be going on after the smoker build. As you see, I have the rest of my sheet metal laying in the truck so we can get the trailer out of here. It's a little easier to move this if somebody needs to get in the garage and use the pit. Plans for this truck long term, it's got a 307 in it right now that's got a Jasper rebuild. It's bored, I think 30 over, if I'm remembering. And it works out to about 316, 317 cubic inches is what we crunched the numbers on. It's got a Powerglide to back that up, 373 rear end. Pretty much all stock except for the engine rebuild, but that is the original engine block specs. It wasn't a 350 truck, it was a 307 from the factory. But you know, bigger is always better, more power is more fun. So we are planning to do a 400 swap. We've got a small block out of my grandpa's truck that's just sitting right now. It's got some work on it. It's close to a 427. I'm probably going to do a rebuild on it and throw it in here along with a 700 R4. So I've got a little bit of an overdrive Powerglide, shift at 15, and then it's done. And it's great for drag racing, fine for putting around town, but if you gotta get up on the highway, then it kind of sucks the fuel mileage. I'm getting about 8 miles a gallon right now out of a 307 with a 2-barrel carb on it. Throttle response with a 2-barrel is great, but again, more power is more fun. Speaking of more power, one of these little projects that I did for school in my physics classes, we had to make a self-propelled car. So kind of went to extremes a few years back making this thing, rubber band powered. It's got a cable that runs down the bottom of it around that pulley and then up the top back here, and it's just basically a wind-up car from there. Except it is meant for speed. We had traction issues with those slick floors at school, so what we ended up doing, these are some 5-gallon bucket lids that are designed with threads on them for paint where you can seal it up real easy. Found them at Home Depot for a couple bucks. So we bought 2 of them, put them on the lathe, turned the threads off, and this is actually carpet tape. The double-sided carpet tape we put on there so that it sticks to the floor. We were having too much power, not enough traction issues. So we had that, and then we actually built up the drive shaft with some welds and turned it down, so we've got a gear ratio so that cable will just lock into that knock. And then once it breaks free of that knock, it free spools so it'll coast and won't sling back. We had that issue a couple times. There is no front suspension or anything like that. It'll actually, the front end will hover. That's why we've got the nuts and plates of steel on there, was to just get it weighted right so that it doesn't flip over backwards when it takes off, and that front end will just hold about 1 inch or 2 off the ground the whole way. And we did some laser timing on it, and it did pretty good. Got a little dangerous though for having people around, so I kind of got in trouble for it. But I kept the car, so we may try to get a couple passes down with it. It's just a matter of getting room and cleaning the concrete off enough. The cleaner the surface, the better. because that tape will stick. And we've got a couple layers wrapped on there, so you just peel the layer off and go to the next one. So these are just a couple things we've got going right now. Again, we'll get back to the truck once the smoker's done. I'll try to play around with this a little bit this weekend, see if we can get something put up. And you guys got any questions on any of the projects or anything like that? Future plans? Oh, I almost forgot, the rear end of this thing is going to get completely redone too. It's got coil springs on the back, so we're going to pull those out, do some leaf springs. That way it'll haul a little bit better. It's got progressive springs on it right now, not meant for a whole lot. They're kind of wore out stock springs. So we're going to redo that too. That'll probably happen same time we do engine transmission, because we're going to have to get a new drive shaft when we do that. It's longer transmission. So you guys got any questions or comments or anything? We'll get on the truck once the smoker's done, and it's underway. Going to get some progress done this weekend. But if you guys got any suggestions or questions or something you want to see or anything like that, just let me down in the comments. Until next time, thanks for watching.